Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-bum. Yes, Jubilee! Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Baba. Yeah, it's the X-Men animated series if anybody didn't know the tune. And indeed, with great jubilation, it is amazing news to see a character that I've known. I've kind of grown up with this character with watching the X-Men animated series. It's one of the first kind of Marvel products, not official. It was official. It's like a lot of it, and the way it was produced, it was like prior to a lot of things like I think it was X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men. So I grew up on this, having this back on Disney Plus. I had some DVDs of X-Men animated, and I think I recorded it back on VHS back when I was a wee young lad. Yeah, it's totally amazing to see a character that I see appearance-wise coming to the game, which I've loved for the last 6 years. But what's the deal with the powers of Jubilation Lee? And yeah, I kid you not, she's called Jubilation Lee. Jubilation Lee, not Jubilee. Jubilation Lee. Oh, it links together. Jubilee. Very witty, Marvel. But here's the thing. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about powers, abilities, origin story. And look, let's put it bluntly. The character has a bit of this kind of bum rap with having some less than powerful powers, but that shouldn't really deter people. It's just the case she seems to be quite insecure or quite scared, I think is probably the better word. Scared of the power that she can manifest as a result of her getting quite stressed out and quite emotionally unstable. Let's begin with the origin story. The daughter of two prosperous Chinese immigrants, Jubilee Lee, was born and raised in Beverly Hills. That's where I wanna be. If anybody gets that reference, well done. If you didn't, then boo, sucks to be you. And lived a charmed life. Jubilee attended an exclusive Beverly Hills school and was believed to have the gymnastic potential to participate in the Olympic Games. However, all in one fateful weekend, her parents lost their money in the stock market and were then mistaken for their neighbours, also named the Lees, and killed by two hitmen while Jubilee was out with a friend of the family. Jubilee was then sent to an orphanage but ran away and hid in a Hollywood shopping mall, stealing food to survive. Jubilee first discovered her mutant power to generate blinding and explosive energy fireworks while running away from mall security. The stress of running away from the security guards caused Jubilee to emit a large light energy blast while in a back alley. This completely disorientated the men and allowed the frightened young girl to escape. Upon learning about her mutant ability to create fireworks, Jubilee realised she could earn money by using her powers to entertain customers and visitors in the mall. Frustrated with the young girl's rebellious nature and the powerful light shows, the mall security hired mutant hunters known as the M Squad to capture her. Jubilee held her own by blasting the M Squad's energy tractor beams, but she was eventually caught. Lucky for her though, Jubilee was rescued by the X-Men Dazzler, Psylocke, Rogue and Storm, who happened to be shopping at the mall at the time. Curious about these strange women, she followed them for a while and later jumped into a portal after them. And the rest, they say, is history. There's also this incredible father-daughter dynamic created between Wolverine and Jubilee. And even at times, Jubilee is referred to as a bit of a sidekick of Wolverine. It's kind of good, especially with the child losing her parents, especially at a young age. To have something of a father-like figure is going to be incredibly important, and it's definitely a dynamic that is seen throughout the comic books and as well as presented in the X-Men 90s animated series. Also, this really cool tie-in to Stryfe. So this story here, when Professor X was almost killed by a villain named Stryfe, who appeared to be Cable, the X-Men were quick to suspect Cable of the deed. It was Jubilee who persuaded the X-Men that he might not be the culprit, as no one knew what Stryfe really looked like, and he could therefore be disguised as Cable. Once Professor X was cured and regained the use of his legs for a short time, Jubilee took him rollerblading to cheer him up. I do find that quite funny because it doesn't play into the House of X story arc. If you're familiar with House of X, you'll know that Professor Xavier has transferred his consciousness from one body to another. Well, he was kind of in like the astral planes, so he's now transferred his subconscious into a different body. But it's just funny to think like, right, well, did he back then he used to use his legs a bit more, or was he in a wheelchair, was he not? So yeah, I guess he had brief use before then going back into the wheelchair. But yeah, it's It's a very unusual story to listen to, but it's also as good to pair in those things with Stryfe and as well with Jubilee. Now let's face it, on screen is what we know Jubilee to look like. That's kind of the first thing that we think about. But at the same time, there have been some other incarnations. She was Wanderer when she joined the New Warriors, and as Wanderer, she was able to have an immense amount of superhuman strength, which is something that she didn't normally possess with her standard Jubilee abilities. There's also a weird story where she becomes a vampire for a time and even bites Wolverine to, make him part of some kind of vampiric leader of an army. It's all very, very weird with that story arc, but you know, comic books are weird and they have some weird stories now and again. In any case, let's go over some of the abilities. We've learned all we need to learn about. I love this character. I don't know if it's going to be a super powerful character for the game, especially as there's been a lot of stigma over the years about, well, it's not really a hugely powerful character. I mean, you can look at some of the power grids. Do take this all with a pinch of salt, even though that Marvel fandom is legitimate to a degree. It is bringing together people's opinions for stuff, as many people have pointed out. But it's still one of the best places to go because it's, well, you know, people are forming opinions about stuff. Like comment sections for videos. But look, powers. It's not going to be the vampiric one. Will it have nods to that Wanderer character or her, not alter ego, but kind of that suit? No, because this is Jubilee from the 90s look, the kind of very early look that we've seen. Not super early, but the more popularized version. So the yellow with the little sunglasses on top and stuff. Kind of an 80s style. Lumikinetic explosive light blasting. That is what the ability is. Fireworks. Energy plasmoids. I've seen energy plasmoids a bit. Man, that's a word and a half. These are essentially globules of light energy that vary in power and intensity. The globules obey her mental commands, traveling where she directs them, arranging themselves in a variety of forms, balls, streamers and other shapes, and exploding when she wishes. The explosions can result in anything from a multitude of colourful sparkles capable of temporarily blinding a person to a fairly powerful detonation capable of smashing tree trunks or metal objects. Jubilee can also absorb the generated fireworks back into her own body without harm. According to Emma Frost, she has the potential to detonate a matter at a subatomic level. Now, I have seen that. I've seen different writings here and there where she has the capability of blowing up a street block, and then other times when it's just a case of, well, just sparklers in the face, just goes, oh. So whether or not that will be more of a playing into lines of stunning in game as opposed to anything. Disorientate, yes, that could be a thing that we put on there. Weakness. But I think that stuns and disorientate. It would be good to have a very much debuff heavy to be something of an asset against stuff like Distract. But as well, having this new kind of newfound build of something. Could it do anything of a debuff damage? I don't think so. But it would be nice to see something of a build up. If she's manifesting and her mental capability is that she's stressed at any time, she can go and smash stuff, as even Emma Frost has said there, at potential detonate matter at a subatomic level. Could she go bigger and beyond to extend her damage potential? That would be great to see and great to have in game, to at least make her usable as a champion rather than a meme or a joke, because that's what she's considered in the mutant universe. She's also got psionic shields. Jubilee's mind possesses a natural defense against telepathic detection or attack. Whether or not that will be something of a resistance to inverted controls, that would be nice. I doubt it will be though. These psionic shields render her mind slippery and invisible to telepathic beings unless they know precisely what to mentally scan for. I would love to see another champion that would be immune to inverted controls, just based on telepathic strength that she has, or this telepathic slipperiness. It's just a case it would just try to invert, but it doesn't work. Or maybe she shrugs off inverted controls as a debuff. I don't think it classes as a debuff, but maybe it's the case she's immune to them. That would be cool. I doubt it will be, but it would be cool if she had that. With Jubilee's gymnastic abilities, I do think that will be something that will be put into game. Whether or not we'll have something of, I don't think it will be evade, but at least something that will be pushing towards her movements on the screen to be, and the build of the champion, the build of the animations, to be very much a nod to those gymnastic based abilities and knowledge. So that will more than likely be in there. I don't think the other stuff, especially with the suit, with Wanderer, as well the vampiric abilities, this isn't going to be in the game. It will more than likely be about the champion being a mutant, being very much the butt of the jokes when it comes to damage output, but at the same time retaining something of a build-up. And maybe that's what we'll see. A stress style will be all about damage amplification, because through the battle she'll get stressed out and she'll just go and just explode. Similar to like an SP2 or the breaking of the shield with Red Guardian, a point of stress and fracture that goes boom, big damage. Love to see it. It'll be a great nod for the game. There we go. That's been a little video going over Jubilee coming in next month. Her abilities, her origin, and as well a fun little story or two and some stuff that you didn't know about the character. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about the character. So when she's in, you can go, I know a little bit more about this character. But thanks very much for watching. Check out some content up there. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.